In the lively village of Ayeni, nestled in the heart of Yoruba land, lived a skilled hunter named Odewale. Known for his bravery and wisdom, Odewale was revered far and wide. His most trusted companion was Oba, a loyal and intelligent hunting dog. Together, they were an inseparable team, renowned for their adventures in the dense forest surrounding their village. Odewale's reputation was built not just on his strength and skill, but on his cleverness and deep respect for the forest and its inhabitants. He was a man of few words, but his actions spoke volumes. Every hunt began with meticulous preparation. He sharpened his spear, checked his traps, and packed his provisions. He also took his trusted long hunter's gun, passed down from his ancestors. Oba watched with keen eyes, his tail wagging in anticipation. "Today, we go deeper into the forest," Odewale said, patting Oba's head. The dog barked in agreement, eager for the challenge. As Odewale prepared, he couldn't shake a strange feeling. He glanced at his wife, Yewande, and their son, Akin, playing nearby. A sense of unease settled in his heart, but he brushed it aside. He had a job to do, and the forest awaited. With a final look at his family, Odewale set off into the forest with Oba by his side. The air was filled with the songs of birds and the rustling of leaves. The deeper they went, the denser the forest became. Suddenly, Oba stopped and growled softly. Odewale crouched, sensing the presence of something unusual. To their surprise, they encountered a wise old man resting by a stream. The man looked up and spoke. "Hunter, you seek game, but remember, not all dangers lie in the forest. Protect what is dear to you." Odewale nodded, puzzled by the man's words, but grateful for the wisdom. He thanked the old man and continued on his path, the warning echoing in his mind. In a forest clearing, they came face to face with a giant boar. The boar's tusks gleamed menacingly as it charged. Odewale stood his ground, his muscles tense and his spear poised. With a swift and calculated move, he dodged the boar's attack. Oba distracted the boar, allowing Odewale to strike it down with precision. They had faced their first challenge and emerged victorious. As the sun climbed higher, Odewale and Oba reached a clearing where they decided to rest. They shared some dried meat and water, keeping a watchful eye on their surroundings. The forest was full of life, with monkeys chattering in the trees and young rabbits grazing nearby. Suddenly, a rustling noise came from the bushes. Odewale readied his spear and gun, while Oba growled, his ears perked up. A large, majestic antelope emerged, its eyes wide with fear. Odewale aimed carefully and took his shot. The antelope fell, and Oba rushed forward to ensure their prize was secure. With their hunt successful, Odewale decided to return home. But as they made their way back, the strange feeling from earlier grew stronger. He quickened his pace, Oba following closely. When they finally reached the village, Odewale's heart sank. His home was in disarray, and his wife and son were nowhere to be found. Neighbors gathered, their faces filled with concern. "Bandits!" an elder exclaimed. "They took Yewande and Akin." Odewale's heart pounded. The words of the old man echoed in his mind. He quickly gathered a group of fellow hunters, including brave men from neighboring villages. They armed themselves and set out to rescue his family. The hunt for the bandits was arduous. They followed tracks and clues through the dense forest, moving swiftly and silently. The hunters communicated with gestures and low whispers, every sense heightened by the urgency of their mission. After hours of tracking, they reached a hidden camp. The bandits were caught off guard, and a fierce battle ensued. Odewale fought with the strength of a lion, his spear and gun striking true. Oba, ever loyal, leaped at the bandits, his powerful jaws and swift movements making him a formidable opponent. Amid the chaos, Odewale spotted Yewande and Akin tied to a tree. With a roar, he charged forward, cutting through the remaining bandits. He freed his wife and son, embracing them tightly. "Thank you," Yewande whispered, tears of relief streaming down her face. The other hunters secured the area, ensuring no bandit escaped. The villagers rejoiced, their bravery and unity shining through the darkness. Odewale, with his family safe, thanked his fellow hunters and vowed to always be vigilant. As they returned to Ayeni, the villagers celebrated their heroes. The children danced, the women sang, and the men shared stories of the daring rescue. Odewale looked around at the faces of his people, filled with pride and gratitude. He realized the true strength of their community lay in their unity and wisdom. Odewale shared the story of the wise old man with his son, teaching him the importance of listening to the wisdom of elders and the signs of nature. He also emphasized the value of courage and the bond between friends and family. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the village, Odewale sat with his family by the fire. Akin, now more aware of his father's bravery, asked, "Father, will you tell me more about the forest?" Odewale smiled, his eyes reflecting the flickering flames. "The forest," he began, "is a place of great mystery and wisdom. It teaches us to be patient, to listen, and to respect all living things. Every tree, every stream, and every creature has a story to tell." He told Akin about the time he and Oba encountered a family of elephants. The matriarch, a wise old elephant, had guided her herd through the forest with such grace and wisdom that Odewale couldn't help but admire her. "She taught me," he said, "that true strength lies in unity and wisdom, not in size or power." Akin listened, his eyes wide with wonder. He imagined himself one day venturing into the forest, learning its secrets, and becoming as wise and brave as his father. Yuande, sitting beside them, felt a deep sense of pride and contentment. She knew that the values Odewale was passing on to their son would guide him throughout his life. One night, as Odewale and Oba patrolled the outskirts of the village, they heard distant drums. It was a signal from a neighboring village, calling for help. Without hesitation, Odewale gathered a group of hunters and set off. They arrived to find the village under attack by wild animals, driven mad by hunger and drought. The hunters sprang into action, their movements precise and coordinated. Odewale's leadership shone as he directed the defense, using his knowledge of the forest to outsmart the beasts. Oba, fearless and fierce, protected the villagers, his growls striking fear into the hearts of the attackers. After a long and exhausting battle, the animals were driven back into the forest. The villagers, grateful and relieved, praised Odewale and his hunters. "You are our saviors," the village chief said, bowing deeply. "We owe you our lives." As the hunters returned to Ayeni, they reflected on the night's events. They had faced great danger, but their unity and courage had seen them through. Odewale knew that these experiences were not just about survival, but about learning and growing stronger together. Back in Ayeni, life gradually returned to normal. Odewale continued to hunt, always with Oba by his side. They encountered many more challenges, each one teaching them new lessons and deepening their bond. Odewale's respect for the forest and its inhabitants grew with each adventure, and he passed this respect on to Akin. Years passed, and Akin grew into a young man. He had learned much from his father and was eager to prove himself as a hunter. One day, Odewale decided it was time for Akin's first solo hunt. He handed his son the long hunter's gun, the same one that had been passed down through generations. "Remember," Odewale said, "the forest is our teacher. Respect it, and it will guide you. Be brave, but also be wise." Akin nodded, determination shining in his eyes. He set off into the forest with Oba, now older, but still as loyal and fierce as ever. Odewale watched them go, a mixture of pride and worry in his heart. As Akin ventured deeper into the forest, he encountered many of the creatures his father had told him about. He used the knowledge and skills he had learned from Odewale to navigate the challenges he faced. Oba, though older, remained a steadfast companion, guiding Akin with his experience. One day, while tracking a deer, Akin stumbled upon a hidden grove. In the center stood a magnificent tree, its branches spreading wide, and its leaves shimmering in the sunlight. Akin felt a sense of awe and reverence. He approached the tree and noticed carvings on its trunk, ancient symbols and stories of the forest's history. As he studied the carvings, Akin realized that this tree was a place of great significance. It was a symbol of the wisdom and strength of the forest. He sat beneath its branches, contemplating the lessons his father had taught him. Suddenly, a rustling noise broke the silence. Akin looked up to see a large, majestic lion emerging from the undergrowth. The lion's eyes met Akin's, and in that moment, he understood the balance of nature, the hunter and the hunted, the teacher and the student. Akin stood his ground, showing no fear. The lion, sensing his respect and courage, turned and disappeared into the forest. Akin knew that he had passed a test, one that went beyond skill and strength. He had proven himself worthy of the forest's wisdom. When Akin returned to Ayeni, he was greeted with cheers and applause. Odewale embraced his son, his heart swelling with pride. "You have done well," he said. "You are ready to carry on our legacy." As the years went by, Akin became a respected hunter, known for his bravery, wisdom, and deep connection to the forest. He continued to learn from his father, and in turn, he taught the younger generation, passing on the values and knowledge that had been instilled in him. Odewale, now an elder, watched with satisfaction as his son in the village thrived. He knew that the legacy of wisdom and courage would continue for generations to come. And through it all, the bond between the hunters and their loyal dogs, like Oba, remained strong, a testament to the unity and strength of the community. The story of Odewale, Yewande, Akin, and Oba became a cherished tale in Ayeni, a reminder of the importance of bravery, wisdom, and respect for nature. It was a story that inspired and guided the villagers, teaching them the values that had sustained their people for centuries. As we conclude this tale, we hope you've enjoyed this journey into the heart of Yoruba land and the adventures of the brave hunter, Odewale. If you liked this story, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the notification bell so you never miss another exciting African story. Thank you for watching.